In a quiet Zen temple nestled in the mountains, a young monk named Riku approached his master one morning with a troubled face. "Master." Riku bowed deeply. "I cannot stay here any longer. I wish to leave this temple and find a more peaceful place to practice my path." The old master, whose eyes held the stillness of a calm pond, asked gently, "Why do you wish to leave, Riku? What troubles you here?" Riku sighed. "Master, the monks here, they are unkind. Some speak in whispers, spreading rumors about me and others. Some spend their days discussing trivial matters and temple politics. Others complain endlessly about life, spreading negativity everywhere. I feel suffocated by their words and actions. I want to go to a temple where there is only peace, only kindness, only quiet." The master listened without interrupting, letting Riku pour his frustration out like water from an overfilled jar. When the young monk finished, the master nodded slowly. "If that is truly your wish," the master said, "then I will allow you to leave. But before you go, I have one final request." Riku straightened, eager. "Anything, master. Tell me what I must do." The master reached for a small wooden bowl and filled it with water until it touched the rim. "Take this bowl," the master said, "and carry it around the entire temple grounds. Walk carefully and return it to me without spilling even a single drop." Riku thought the task simple enough. With a respectful bow, he took the bowl, holding it steady in his hands. Step by step, he began walking through the temple. The path wound past the gardens, through the courtyard, around the monks' living quarters. Riku kept his eyes fixed on the surface of the water, afraid that even one careless movement would cause a ripple to spill over. Hours later, with legs aching and shoulders tense, Riku returned to the master. The water still shimmered at the brim, not a single drop lost. "Master," Riku said, his face bright with accomplishment, "I have done as you asked." The master looked at the bowl, then at Riku, and smiled. "Well done, my student. Now, before you leave, tell me, while you carried the water, did you hear the monks talking about politics?" Riku frowned. "No, master, I was too focused on the bowl." The master tilted his head. "Did you hear any gossip about yourself or about me?" Riku shook his head. "No, master, I didn't hear anything at all. I had to keep my eyes on the water so it would not spill." "And did you hear anyone complaining or speaking with negativity?" the master asked. "No, master," Riku admitted. "I was so focused on my task that I didn't notice anything else." The master's smile deepened. "Do you see, Riku? Your mind was so absorbed in protecting this bowl of water that you did not have the time or attention to listen to the noise around you." Riku's eyes widened as the realization began to sink in. The master continued, "This bowl of water is like your life's purpose. When you hold it with both hands, when your attention is steady, when your focus is unbroken, the words and actions of others cannot disturb you." The monks did not stop speaking while you walked. The wind still rustled the trees. The courtyard still hummed with life. Yet none of it reached you, because you were watching the water. Riku lowered his gaze, ashamed. "Then, the problem was not the monks, but my lack of focus?" The master placed a hand on his shoulder. "It is easy to blame the noise outside. It is harder to admit that it is our mind that invites the noise in. Wherever you go, Riku, you will find those who gossip, complain, and stir trouble. But if your attention rests firmly on your path, their words will be no more than the sound of wind passing through bamboo, heard but never held." The young monk stood in silence, feeling the truth of his master's words press gently against his heart like falling snow. The master poured the water from the bowl into the small garden pond, watching the ripples fade. "You are still free to leave, Riku," he said. "You may travel to the most distant monastery, hidden in forests or mountains. But remember, if you carry your bowl carelessly, the world will find ways to spill it." Riku looked at the courtyard, at the monks who had once seemed unbearable to him. They were still talking, still laughing, still moving about. But something felt different, not in them, but in him. "Master," Riku said softly, "if I stay, will I still hear the gossip?" "Yes," the master said, "just as you will hear the wind, but you can choose whether to give it your attention." "And if I leave?" Riku asked. "You will meet other voices in other temples speaking their own noise. The world is full of such sounds. There is no place where only silence lives. The peace you seek is not in another temple. It is in carrying your bowl with focus, wherever you are." Riku closed his eyes for a moment. He remembered the long walk, the delicate balance of the bowl, the stillness in his mind as he guarded each drop. For the first time, he understood that focus was not something the world gave him. It was something he chose. When he opened his eyes, Riku bowed deeply. "Master, I will stay, and I will carry my bowl every day, not of water, but of purpose." The master smiled, the corners of his eyes crinkling like folded silk. "Then you have already found the peaceful monastery you were searching for." From that day on, Riku no longer feared the words of others. He tended the gardens, studied the sutras, and practiced meditation. His mind anchored like a stone at the bottom of a clear river. The gossip still came, the complaints still drifted through the halls, but to him, they were nothing more than distant echoes. Years later, when young monks came to him with the same complaints, Riku would simply hand them a bowl filled to the brim and say, "Walk around the temple. Bring it back without spilling a drop. Then we will speak." And so the lesson lived on, not just in words, but in the quiet act of carrying one's own life with focus.